They say turning 60 brings wisdom, but for millions it also brings a shelf full of pills. In Japan, however, many elders pass their 60th birthday with far fewer medications than their Western counterparts. Could a simple cup of tea be one of their quiet secrets? Studies show that nearly 70% of adults over 60 in the United States take at least 5 daily medications. While some are essential, others merely replace what the body could often balance through lifestyle and nutrition. The challenge is that most people never stop to question the hidden cost of this routine: fatigue, digestive problems, and nutrient imbalances caused by overmedication. What if something as ordinary as tea could help? Not just any tea, but a traditional Japanese infusion linked for centuries to clarity, vitality, and calm aging. It's not a miracle drink or a shortcut to youth, but a daily ritual woven into one of the longest living cultures on Earth. Today you'll discover how this ancient beverage may help you reduce your dependency on pills after 60 by supporting your body's natural systems gently and consistently. Japan's relationship with tea is not about caffeine or comfort, it's about harmony. Every cup embodies a balance of nature, time, and respect for the body. For many Japanese elders, tea isn't simply a drink, it's a philosophy. It's how they start their mornings, how they pause between tasks, and how they share connection with family. While modern medicine focuses on fixing what's broken, the Japanese approach, rooted in daily rituals like tea, focuses on preventing that breakage in the first place. This difference in mindset matters deeply as we age. Western lifestyles often separate health from routine: exercise in one box, medicine in another, meals in another. But in Japan, the ordinary act of brewing tea becomes healthcare itself, a rhythm that supports digestion, circulation, and calm. The tea we're exploring in this journey is not exotic, expensive, or rare, yet it holds remarkable compounds that modern science continues to study for their anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and metabolic benefits. Before we dive into what makes this particular tea so powerful, it's important to understand why our reliance on pills grows so easily after 60. The aging process changes how our bodies process nutrients and medications alike. What once worked efficiently begins to slow. Our systems become less forgiving to excess and imbalance. So the goal isn't to reject medicine, it's to restore equilibrium through smarter, simpler habits. By the end of this series, you'll see how a cup of tea can represent something much larger: a daily act of prevention, a small rebellion against dependency, and a bridge between tradition and modern science. And perhaps as you sip your own tea, you'll begin to sense what generations in Japan have known all along. The best medicine sometimes comes in a ceramic cup, not a plastic bottle. After 60, the body begins to whisper, and sometimes shout, about the years it has carried. Aches linger longer, sleep deepens less, and the list of daily medications grows steadily. What starts as one pill for blood pressure can turn into several more for cholesterol, digestion, and pain. Doctors call it polypharmacy, a word that sounds clinical but hides a troubling truth. Too many medications can quietly create new health problems. Studies have shown that older adults who take more than 5 daily drugs face a sharply higher risk of dizziness, confusion, and falls, issues often mistaken for just getting old. In Japan, however, there's a different rhythm to aging. While modern medicine is respected, there's a cultural tendency to begin with prevention rather than correction. Meals are smaller, portions of salt and sugar are lighter, and ancient practices, like tea rituals, remain central. This quiet difference often results in fewer prescriptions and better balance. It's not magic, it's mindfulness turned into habit. When we rely solely on pills, we can overlook the hidden causes of imbalance. A tablet may lower blood pressure, but it doesn't calm the nervous system shaped by decades of stress. Another drug may ease inflammation but ignore the processed foods that caused it. The Japanese approach asks a simpler question: what can the body do naturally, if gently supported? This is where traditional teas come in, not as replacements for essential treatments but as allies to the body's innate capacity for repair. What most people don't realize is that small daily rituals can create measurable physiological changes. Warm tea stimulates digestion, improves hydration, and delivers polyphenols that neutralize oxidative stress. These compounds, found in abundance in Japanese teas, act like microscopic shields, reducing the cell damage that contributes to chronic illness. Unlike medication, their effects accumulate quietly over time. Still, we must be careful not to romanticize the East or demonize the West. Japanese longevity doesn't come from tea alone. It comes from a culture that values consistency, moderation, and gratitude. But tea is a perfect symbol of that balance. It's simple, accessible, and deeply tied to both community and self-awareness. Think of the contrast. In many Western households, the morning begins with pills and coffee, rushed and mechanical. In Japan, it often begins with calm, a slow pouring of hot water over green leaves, a deep breath, a moment of pause. That single act lowers stress hormones, focuses the mind, and sets a tone of care rather than urgency. As we continue, we'll explore how this connection between tea and well-being took root in Japanese history, shaping not only longevity, but also mindset. Because before we can understand how a tea might replace or reduce medication, we need to understand why Japan never separated healing from living in the first place. And that story begins centuries ago, in quiet tea gardens surrounded by mist and discipline. Long before laboratories tested antioxidants or doctors measured blood pressure, Japan had already discovered the art of healing through tea. The story begins over 1,000 years ago when Buddhist monks brought tea seeds from China to Japan. What started as a simple drink to stay awake during meditation evolved into a philosophy of balance, respect, and longevity. Over the centuries, tea became more than refreshment. It became a mirror of Japanese values: patience, purity, and presence. By the 17th century, tea was woven into the nation's identity through the chanoyu, or tea ceremony. Every gesture, from how the water is heated to how the cup is lifted, reflects mindfulness. The ceremony is not about luxury or taste, it's about harmony. Observing elders in Japan, you can see this calm precision in their daily routines. Each movement, however small, is deliberate. That discipline nurtures both mental clarity and physiological stability. Scientists today recognize that such rituals can lower stress hormones and improve heart rhythm, benefits that medicine alone rarely provides. Japan's tea culture is also a science of variety. While the West often knows green tea as a single idea, Japan has refined dozens of unique types, each with distinct properties. Matcha, powdered and vibrant, is famous for its rich antioxidants. Sencha, the most common, carries a bright flavor and gentle energy. Hojicha is roasted, producing a nutty aroma and very low caffeine, perfect for older adults sensitive to stimulants. Kukicha, made from twigs rather than leaves, offers minerals and a mild sweetness. Each of these teas supports the body differently, yet all share the same foundation: natural compounds that protect cells from the slow wear of time. Modern research now validates what Japanese tradition has practiced for centuries. Green teas are rich in catechins, especially epigallocatechin gallate, EGCG, which helps regulate inflammation, support blood vessel health, and may improve metabolism. Studies show that elderly Japanese who drink tea daily have lower rates of cardiovascular disease and cognitive decline compared to those who do not. But what makes this more powerful than any pill is its sustainability. A cup of tea asks for no prescription, only consistency. The deeper wisdom lies not in the tea itself, but in how it is consumed. In Japan, people rarely gulp tea between distractions. They sip slowly, often in silence, or while looking at nature. This slow ritual activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural rest and repair mode. In a world driven by hurry, this is medicine disguised as patience. As we step forward, we'll narrow our focus to one particular tea, a humble yet extraordinary variety known for supporting vitality and gentle balance in aging bodies. Understanding its origins and properties will reveal why it has earned quiet respect among both Japanese elders and modern scientists. It's more than a beverage, it's a daily act of preservation, a quiet bridge between wisdom and wellness. Among Japan's many teas, One stands out for its gentle nature and powerful health potential: kukicha, often called twig tea. Unlike most teas made from leaves, kukicha is crafted from the stems and twigs of the tea plant, giving it a distinct earthy aroma and a light, nutty flavor. It's humble in appearance, nothing flashy, nothing trendy, but in that simplicity lies its secret. Because it comes from the more fibrous parts of the plant, kukicha carries minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and zinc that are often missing from leaf-based teas. For older adults, whose bones and circulation need consistent nourishment, this mineral content becomes a quiet ally. Kukicha also has an exceptionally low caffeine content. That makes it ideal for those over 60 who want to enjoy tea without disrupting sleep or raising heart rate. Unlike many Western teas which can overstimulate, kukicha soothes. It offers warmth without agitation, clarity without jitters. In Japanese homes, it's common to drink it throughout the day, even into the evening, as a balancing beverage that gently supports digestion and relaxation. But what truly sets kukicha apart isn't just its chemistry, it's its intention. Traditionally, this tea was born out of resourcefulness. Farmers who couldn't afford to waste any part of the tea plant began using the twigs that others discarded. Over time, they discovered that this poor man's tea brought a calm alertness and resilience that leaf teas didn't always provide. Centuries later, its reputation has grown quietly, supported by modern nutrition science. The secret lies in its balance of theanine and catechins, two compounds that work like opposites in harmony. Theanine promotes calm and focus, while catechins fight oxidative stress. Together, they create what Japanese culture calls dabue, a natural equilibrium within the body. Research has shown that daily consumption of such teas can lower LDL cholesterol, stabilize blood sugar, and reduce the risk of arterial stiffness, conditions that often lead to more medications with age. Kukicha is also alkaline-forming, helping to counteract the acidity that builds up from processed foods, meat-heavy diets, and certain drugs. For elders who struggle with acid reflux or digestive discomfort, this gentle alkalinity can bring noticeable relief. Unlike extreme detoxes or supplements, it doesn't shock the body. It restores balance slowly, consistently, like time itself. To prepare it traditionally, one simply simmers the twigs in hot water, allowing the flavors to deepen without bitterness. The act itself invites mindfulness, the soft bubbling of the pot, the earthy aroma rising with the steam, the first sip that feels both grounding and light. In this simple ritual, the Japanese have found a way to support longevity through balance. And now, modern science is beginning to uncover how such a modest tea can offer benefits that rival far more complex treatments. In the next chapter, we'll look closely at what happens inside the body when kukicha becomes part of a daily routine, and why it may help many avoid the growing list of pills that often accompany aging. When we drink kukicha, the warmth that spreads through the body feels comforting, but beneath that comfort, intricate chemistry begins to unfold. Modern research has shown that kukicha contains a unique profile of antioxidants and amino acids that can help maintain internal balance. Chief among them are catechins, particularly EGCG, which have been extensively studied for their ability to combat oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is one of the key drivers of aging. It damages cells, accelerates inflammation, and contributes to conditions like arthritis, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes. Catechins act as silent guardians, neutralizing the free radicals that fuel this invisible fire. For people over 60, this gentle antioxidant action is crucial. Unlike the sharp effects of pharmaceuticals that target one symptom at a time, kukicha works holistically. Its compounds don't overpower the body, they remind it how to regulate itself. Studies from Japanese universities, including Kyoto and Shizuoka, suggest that regular tea consumption is associated with lower markers of inflammation and improved vascular function. The tea's natural polyphenols relax blood vessels, enhancing circulation and reducing strain on the heart, an effect similar to mild exercise. But kukicha's benefits extend beyond the cardiovascular system. Its trace minerals support bone density, something that often declines sharply after menopause or with reduced mobility. Magnesium aids in muscle relaxation and nerve health. while calcium and zinc contribute to bone repair and immune function. These are not doses large enough to replace dietary sources, but they reinforce the body's internal framework day after day, cup after cup. Another fascinating feature is Kukicha's effect on glucose metabolism. Research has linked green teas to improved insulin sensitivity, meaning the body uses sugar more efficiently and avoids dangerous spikes. For older adults managing prediabetes or mild type 2 diabetes, this natural regulation can be transformative. It's not a cure. It's a quiet support system that works alongside healthy eating and gentle movement. Perhaps the most underestimated compound in Kukicha is theanine, an amino acid that crosses the blood-brain barrier to promote calm alertness. In an aging brain, where stress and memory decline often compete for space, theanine's balancing act matters. It increases alpha brain waves, the same waves linked to meditation, enhancing focus and reducing anxiety. This neurological benefit pairs perfectly with the Japanese lifestyle's emphasis on tranquility. In essence, Kukicha helps the body slow down without shutting down. When these biochemical effects converge, the result is not a surge of energy or a dramatic transformation. It's something subtler and more sustainable: steadiness. Over time, that steadiness translates into fewer crashes, better digestion, and more stable mood. The body begins to rely less on external stimulation and more on its own rhythms. In the next chapter, we'll explore the other side of this story, because even natural remedies carry nuances. While Kukicha offers remarkable benefits, it's important to understand when and how it should be used, especially for those already managing medications or chronic conditions. No matter how gentle a remedy seems, balance demands awareness, and even something as mild as Kukicha deserves respect. While this tea is celebrated for its safety, it is not entirely without caution. For individuals taking certain medications or living with specific health conditions, understanding its interactions is as vital as understanding its benefits. One of the first considerations involves iron absorption. Like most teas, Kukicha contains tannins, natural compounds that can bind to dietary iron and reduce its absorption. For older adults with anemia or low iron stores, drinking tea immediately after meals can make it harder for the body to absorb iron from food. The solution is simple: enjoy Kukicha between meals rather than with them. This timing preserves its benefits while minimizing interference. Another point of caution relates to caffeine sensitivity. Although Kukicha contains far less caffeine than coffee or green tea, it is not entirely caffeine-free. Some people, especially those who metabolize caffeine slowly, may experience mild restlessness or disrupted sleep if they drink it too late in the evening. For these individuals, switching to a nighttime caffeine-free infusion, like roasted barley tea, mujicha, can provide a similar ritual without stimulation. For people with kidney issues or who take medications that affect potassium levels, moderation also matters. Kukicha is naturally rich in minerals, including potassium. In most cases, this is beneficial, but excessive amounts could pose a problem for those whose kidneys cannot filter minerals efficiently. Consulting a doctor before adding any regular herbal or tea regimen is always wise, especially when managing multiple prescriptions. Another hidden risk comes from assumption: the belief that natural means harmless. This is one of the great modern health paradoxes. Many older adults replace prescribed medications with herbal remedies without medical supervision, hoping to find a cleaner solution. But true wellness does not come from rejection. It comes from integration. Kukicha works best as a complement, not a substitute, supporting the body's balance while conventional medicine addresses specific needs. Even preparation methods can influence safety. Using overly hot water or steeping for too long can increase tannin concentration, making the tea bitter and slightly harsher on the stomach. Traditional Japanese brewing avoids this by using water below boiling, around 80 degrees Celsius, and shorter steeping times. This approach preserves flavor and ensures the tea remains gentle, even for sensitive digestion. Ultimately, awareness transforms caution into empowerment. Kukicha's few risks are easy to navigate when approached with knowledge and moderation. The Japanese have long practiced this wisdom, It's not about extremes, but about balance. They understand that even the healthiest drink can harm if consumed without mindfulness. In the next chapter, we'll shift from caution to application. You'll learn how to make kukicha part of your daily life, not as a supplement, but as a ritual that enhances energy, digestion, and calmness naturally. The goal isn't to replace pills, but to build a foundation strong enough that you might one day need fewer of them. Adopting kukicha as part of daily life isn't about adding one more health rule. It's about transforming an ordinary moment into an act of self-care. For Japanese elders, this ritual is so woven into the rhythm of the day that it barely feels intentional. Yet behind its simplicity lies a method that nurtures both body and mind. Integrating this habit can be easy, even for those new to tea preparation. The first step is choosing quality. Good kukicha should have a warm brown color with visible stems and a clean, slightly sweet aroma. Lower quality versions can be too dusty or bitter, often roasted at high temperatures that destroy delicate nutrients. Whenever possible, choose organic tea sourced from regions like Shizuoka or Uji, where the plants are cultivated with centuries of expertise. A small amount of high-quality tea will always yield better results than a large bag of inferior leaves. Preparing kukicha follows a quiet rhythm. Heat water just below boiling, around 80 degrees Celsius, and steep 1 teaspoon of twigs for about 3 minutes. The flavor should be mild, nutty, and soothing. If it tastes too strong, shorten the steeping time rather than diluting it with more water. The Japanese often re-steep the same twigs several times, appreciating how the taste evolves from cup to cup, softer and sweeter with each round. Drinking kukicha is most beneficial when it becomes a pause rather than a task. Start your morning with it instead of coffee. The mild caffeine offers clarity without the sudden spike or crash. Many find it especially helpful to drink a warm cup mid-morning or after lunch when energy naturally dips. The gentle warmth aids digestion and prevents that heavy, sluggish feeling that often follows meals. Consistency matters more than quantity. 2 or 3 cups a day are enough to feel its cumulative effects. Over weeks, many notice steadier energy, calmer digestion, and a subtle lightness in mood. It's not about instant transformation. It's about the quiet rebuilding of rhythm. Pairing tea time with deep breathing or a short walk amplifies the benefits, small habits reinforcing one another. In Japan, elders often see tea time as an anchor in their day. It's when they step away from distraction and reconnect with presence. You can recreate that same spirit wherever you are. Use your favorite cup, sit by a window, and take a few moments to notice the warmth in your hands, the scent in the air, the slowing of your thoughts. That's not indulgence. It's medicine in motion. This daily ritual reminds the body how to heal through repetition and calm, not through force. Over time, this mindfulness becomes second nature, like muscle memory for serenity. And while kukicha serves as the centerpiece, it's just one part of a broader philosophy of harmony. In the next chapter, we'll explore how other elements of Japanese lifestyle, movement, nature, and food, complement this ritual and together create the foundation of long, balanced life. In Japan, kukicha is rarely enjoyed in isolation. It belongs to a larger tapestry of habits that, together, sustain health and longevity. These companion practices, simple, consistent, and deeply rooted in tradition, reflect a philosophy that values small daily actions over grand efforts. They are not exercises in discipline but in awareness, each one reinforcing the quiet balance that kukicha cultivates. One of the most powerful of these is walking, particularly in nature. The Japanese call it shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing. It's not about fitness or burning calories. It's about breathing with the trees. Studies have shown that spending just 30 minutes surrounded by greenery can lower cortisol, stabilize blood pressure, and strengthen immune function. Many elders in rural Japan walk daily through gardens or wooded paths, their pace unhurried but steady. This practice complements the tea's effects by reducing stress hormones and supporting cardiovascular health. Another cornerstone habit is mindful eating. Traditional Japanese meals are built around variety and moderation. Small portions of vegetables, fermented foods like miso or natto, and fish rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Meals are rarely rushed. They are rituals of gratitude. The philosophy of Hara Hachi-byu, eating until one is 80% full, helps prevent overeating and supports metabolic balance. When paired with kukicha, this approach creates a digestive harmony that minimizes inflammation and fatigue. There is also the art of daily movement without intensity. Many Japanese elders practice Ragyo Taiso, gentle morning calisthenics broadcast on national radio since the 1920s. These simple stretches, performed slowly and rhythmically, keep joints flexible and circulation active. Combined with the mild stimulation from tea, they help maintain mobility well into old age. Social connection, too, plays an invisible but vital role. Tea time is rarely solitary in Japan. Friends, neighbors, or family members gather for conversation, laughter, and quiet reflection. Modern research echoes this wisdom. Social bonds protect against cognitive decline, depression, and even cardiovascular disease. Sharing kukicha becomes a form of preventive medicine that nurtures not only the body but the spirit. Even the home environment contributes to health. Many Japanese elders keep spaces uncluttered, with natural light and air flowing freely. This simplicity reduces mental strain and fosters calm. The act of cleaning itself, done mindfully, becomes movement and meditation in one. A pot of kukicha resting nearby completes the scene, health not as an event, but as a rhythm of living. Taken together, these habits form a circle of balance. Tea calming the mind, movement strengthening the body, nature restoring breath, and community nourishing the heart. It's a quiet synergy where nothing feels forced, yet everything supports life. In the next chapter, we'll meet the people behind these traditions, elders whose daily rituals have allowed them to thrive well beyond 60. Their stories will show that longevity is not an accident of genetics, but a reflection of lifestyle, one cup and one mindful step at a time. In the quiet mountain town of Yakushima, an 84-year-old woman named Fumiko begins each morning the same way, by sweeping her porch, boiling water, and brewing a small pot of kukicha. She doesn't take many pills, just one for her thyroid, and her doctor often marvels at her vitality. When asked about her secret, she laughs softly and says, "I listen to my tea." For her, the ritual is not about taste or even health. It's about awareness. She drinks slowly, feeling the warmth move through her body, the calm settle into her thoughts. She has followed this rhythm for more than 50 years, and her days flow with remarkable steadiness. Fumiko's story is not unique. Across Japan, elders who maintain long, healthy lives share similar habits: simple food, movement, and daily tea. In Okinawa, famous for having one of the highest concentrations of centenarians in the world, kukicha and green tea are staples. These individuals rarely see tea as medicine. Instead, it's a quiet companion that keeps their systems in tune. Their approach to aging is less about fighting decline and more about maintaining harmony. Modern research now supports what these elders have long practiced. A large cohort study in Japan found that adults who drank tea daily had significantly lower risks of heart disease and cognitive decline. But beyond numbers and data, the stories of people like Fumiko reveal the emotional side of longevity, the joy that comes from routine, gratitude, and gentle self-discipline. It's a reminder that mental calm and social connection are as vital to aging well as antioxidants or minerals. Take Kenji, a 72-year-old retired carpenter from Kyoto. After decades of working with his hands, arthritis began to limit his mobility. Instead of increasing pain medication, he started incorporating kukicha twice a day, alongside slow morning walks. Over time, his inflammation eased and he regained dexterity. He attributes the change to small consistencies, not miracles. "I didn't feel younger," he says. "I just stopped feeling older." That distinction defines the Japanese way: restoration through rhythm rather than resistance. These stories underline a simple truth: longevity doesn't arrive suddenly. It grows, like tea leaves steeping in warm water, gradually, patiently. The elders who thrive past 60 aren't chasing youth. They're cultivating equilibrium. Their lives reflect a harmony between habit and heart, science and spirit. What's most striking is how accessible these practices are. None require wealth, rare herbs, or elaborate regimens. They depend on presence, the ability to pause, breathe, and care for the self consistently. A cup of kukicha costs less than a bottle of vitamins, yet offers more than nutrition. It offers ritual. As we move to our final chapter, we'll gather the lessons from this journey. You'll see how kukicha and its accompanying habits can become a framework for your own longevity. Practical steps to reduce dependency on medication and rediscover the body's quiet wisdom that endures well beyond 60. So what can we learn from Japan's quiet longevity? Over these chapters, we've traced the journey from a single cup of tea to an entire philosophy of living. Kukicha, humble and unassuming, has shown us that health after 60 doesn't have to rely entirely on pills. Instead, it can rest upon small, deliberate choices that honor the body's natural intelligence. This tea isn't a cure. It's a companion, a reminder that prevention begins in the simplest acts of care. Let's briefly recall what we've discovered. Kukicha's antioxidants protect cells from the slow erosion of time. Its minerals nourish bones and nerves. Theanine calms the mind while supporting focus and clarity. And its gentle, low-caffeine profile makes it ideal for older adults seeking stability instead of stimulation. But beyond its biochemistry, kukicha teaches something deeper. Balance isn't achieved through force, it's cultivated through rhythm. The Japanese way of aging well is built upon this rhythm. Tea time becomes reflection. A walk becomes medicine. A meal becomes gratitude. Together, these acts form a living system of harmony, each element strengthening the others. Where Western medicine often isolates problems, Japanese tradition unites solutions. It doesn't separate the body from the mind or health from daily life. That holistic view is what makes their approach so sustainable. Of course, medicine has its place. Pills save lives every day. But what if we could use fewer of them, not by denial but by design? By nurturing our bodies so well that we prevent the need for excess intervention. This is the quiet promise of kukicha. It doesn't fight disease. It helps the body resist decline in the first place. It works not through intensity, but through consistency. Anyone can begin this journey. Start small. Replace one afternoon coffee with a cup of kukicha. Brew it slowly. Sip without distraction. Notice how your body responds. Not immediately, but over time. Then, let the practice expand naturally. Take short walks, eat lighter meals, rest more intentionally. These actions may seem small, but together they create a shift as powerful as any prescription. The body recognizes steadiness. The mind rewards calm. And perhaps most importantly, share it. Invite someone to join you in tea. Health grows stronger in community. The Japanese know this well. Longevity thrives not in isolation, but in connection. When we care for ourselves in ways that also connect us to others, we create health that endures. So as you finish reading and the kettle hums softly in your kitchen, consider this. Maybe the path to aging well isn't hidden in a lab or locked inside a pharmacy. Maybe it's already waiting in your hands, swirling gently in a ceramic cup. Sip slowly, breathe deeply, and let balance return. One simple cup at a time.